Live from Palmasola Park in beautiful Bradenton, Florida on this Monday morning. It's the Manatee Impact against the home team Manatee Squeeze. Impact entered this game 2-3, whereas the Squeeze 3-2. Warming up in the circle for the Squeeze, it's Reese Hickey, the right-hander from Samford, facing the Impact batting order. That starts off with Sammy Lenhair in right, batting second Brianne Buncic at second base. Hitting third, Harley Chisholm, the shortstop. Batting cleanup, Autumn Russell, the catcher. In the 5 spot, Calissa Coates playing third. Hitting sixth, Jayla Mitchell, the extra hitter. Batting seventh for the Impact, Brianna Santangelo in left. In the 8th spot, Megan Towery in center. And hitting ninth, Ella Carter, the first baseman. With the Impact batting 10, Emma Robertson, the DP, rounds out the order. The Impact, coached by Ashley Prangy, with the Squeeze under Taylor Pinnell. Two former SEC players turned coaches as Lenhair, the leadoff batter, comes up for the Impact. Freshman from Akron. Only 2 games played this season. As the first pitch from Natalie Snowden. Rather, that's Hickey. Swung on, strike one. First pitch comes in at 9:31. A 1 pitch. Swinging a towering pop-up to center. Basari underneath. She makes the catch to retire the first batter. The defense for the Squeeze, the outfield left to right, St. Jean, Passari, and Evans. In the infield, third base, Segura. Shortstop, O'Connell. Second base, Young. First base, Faulkner. And behind the dish, catching, is Massingale. That brings up Brianne Buncic, the Western Carolina Catamount, who watches a strike on the outer edge. The Samford Bulldog misses upstairs, ball 1. The Squeeze starter, Reese Hickey, 5'11" freshman from Atlanta. 1-1. Ground ball rolls to the shortstop, O'Connell. She can't glove it. It's an error with 1 out for the first base runner of the ball game. That brings up Harley Chisholm. Reese Hickey this past season with Samford, 3.78 ERA, a 5-1 record, 22 appearances, 7 of which were starts across 59 1/3 innings pitched. She allowed 61 hits, 32 earned runs, walked 24, and struck out 42. Her sister, also on the Squeeze, she plays at UVA. The pitch to Chisholm. Partial swing, it's fouled off. Chisholm, the Impact shortstop, takes the ball inside. Chisholm, freshman from Florida State, where she redshirted this past season. Next pitch. That one fouled back. Florida State got a big transfer today. The former Tennessee infielder Ella Dodge making her way over to Tallahassee. The pitch. That's inside. Payoff pitch on its way. Swing and a flare shot into right, base knock. Buncich holds up at second. 2 base runners aboard for the Impact in the top of the first. Chisholm swings and hits it the other direction. That brings up Autumn Russell, the catcher, batting cleanup. First pitch shaves the outer edge. It's a called strike 1. The pitcher, Reese Hickey, making her 5th appearance of the summer. So far, 9 innings for the Squeeze. No decisions. 9 earned runs allowed, an ERA of 7. 11 hits, walked 10, struck out 7 batters. 0-2 to the plate. Russell goes down swinging. Second out of the inning. First strikeout of the outing for Hickey. Now it's Calissa Coates, the third baseman. Rising sophomore infielder from Towson. She lays off on the first pitch. It's outside, ball 1. From the John Carroll School, where she played her high school ball, just outside of Baltimore. 1-0. That hits the lower half. Two balls, 1 strike. DeCoates batting 5th in this Manatee order. Swinging a slow roller to second base. Young goes the short way to second base for the force out to retire the side. Impact scoreless in the top of the first despite 1 hit and an error committed by the Squeeze offense. We go to the home half. It is Nina Passari, Lacey St. Jean, and Skylar Young due up for the Squeeze. Bottom of the first inning, Natalie Snowden warming up for the Impact, facing the Manatee starting order, which starts with Nina Passari in center, batting second Lacey St. Jean in left, hitting third Skylar Young, the second baseman. The cleanup duties belong to Hannah Evans in right, hitting fifth Brooke Massengale, the catcher. In the sixth hole, Adriana O'Connell playing short, batting seventh Ava Segura at third base, hitting eighth Lauren Faulkner at first base. In the ninth spot, Reagan Hickey, the DP, and with the Squeeze sending 10 to the plate, it is Eliza Johnson rounding things out. In the top half of the inning, the Impact got 2 base runners thanks to an error by the shortstop and a single to left by Chisholm. Failed to bring either home. Snowden out of Florida Southern in Lakeland, Florida. She is warmed up in the circle, making her third appearance. 5 2/3 innings pitched so far. As the first pitch is a bunt that drops in the dirt fair, and it's over to first. 2-3. That ball stuck. So in that time for Snowden, an 0-1 record, 18 earned runs allowed, 22 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, looking to settle in after a rocky first 2 outings. And the first pitch is inside, ball 1 to Lucy St. Jean. The Squeeze 3-2 entering this game. St. Jean bats it to the shortstop. Chisholm, a good pick, feeds it to first. 6-3. With 2 gone in the bottom of the second, the defense for the Impact, Santangelo in left, Towery in center, Lenhare at right field. The third baseman is Coates. Shortstop making that play was Chisholm. Bunsich at second base, Carter at first with Russell behind the dish catching. Here's Skylar Young, the second baseman. First pitch, a roller to second base. Underhand flip to Carter, and the Squeeze go down in order. 3 straight groundouts, and we go to the second, no score. Top of the second between the Impact and the Squeeze. No score as it's 6-7-8 due up for Manatee. Jayla Mitchell, the leadoff batter. The extra hitter. Impact got 2 runners on in the first inning. Failed to plate either of them. She watches a first pitch strike. Mitchell in the transfer portal after a freshman season at Memphis. Swings and lifts it down the left field line. St. Jean gives chase, but it drops in foul territory. It's a long strike 2 at an 0-2 count to the Impact extra hitter. Reese Hickey comes home with the 2-strike pitch. And it darts outside, ball 1. Hickey with the Samford Bulldogs this past spring. Not a bad season for them in the SoCon. Went 28-31, but 14-7 in conference play. 1-2. It's a foul ball. Won 2 games in the Southern Conference tournament. This ball lifted above the second baseman's head, base hit to right. Mitchell, a leadoff single. Now Brianna Santangelo to the plate. Brianna Santangelo out of Columbia in the Ivy League. It's a bunt, and it's popped back into the fence. Hickey and the Bulldogs, coached by Megan Curry, who just concluded her second season leading the charge with her alma mater. A slow roller down the right field line, indecisive is the squeeze defense, and Mitchell gets all the way to third. Runners on the corners with no outs. Mitchell at third base, Santangelo at first as Megan Towery, the center fielder, comes up. She swings through the first pitch. From Belmont Abbey College in the Division II Conference Carolinas, a 1. She's down in an 0-2 count. Good season with Belmont Abbey. Hit .351 in 35 starts. Belmont Abbey, beautiful college just outside of Charlotte. As this ball towered to left, it's the center fielder making the catch. That's Passari. It's enough to score Mitchell. Both runners advance on the sacrifice fly. Impact scores first here in the second. Santangelo now at second base. A runner still in scoring position for Manatee, as it is Ella Carter, the first baseman. Carter watches a strike called on the outer edge. Next pitch. It's outside to Carter. Carter started her college career at Indiana, then moved to Miami in the Mid-American Conference as it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball to right, and it drops for a base hit. Running over to third, getting tagged out. That's Santangelo. She was late to make her movement to third base. Thought it could have been caught, but it's a out regardless. The lead out runner tagged out 9-5. Carter with the third hit of the frame for the Impact. She's at first. As the pitch misses low and away, ball 1 to Emma Robertson, the DP. Robertson out of Winthrop. Swings and it's away, and the runner advances. I believe it deflected off the catcher's helmet. Heard a click, but it was not a foul ball. Carter at second base. The pitch to the plate. Trims the outside edge. Hickey, her 1-2. Defensive swing, just placed backwards, foul. Next pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Second strikeout of the game for Hickey ends the second inning. But a run scores thanks to 3 hits, no errors. They leave a runner stranded. We're through 1.5. Impact ahead, 1-0. Bottom of the second inning, Manatee, well, both teams named Manatee. The Impact leads the Squeeze 1-0 after a sacrifice fly by Megan Towery in the top half scored the first run of the game. Natalie Snowden back in the circle for the Impact with Hannah Evans, the leadoff bat for the Squeeze. Evans swings after the first pitch, launches it to left center, and she's down on one pitch with a fly out to center. Squeeze have been swinging early in the count as it's Brooke Massengale, the catcher. From Longwood, previously of East Carolina. She takes the first pitch, ball one. One 0. 2-0 the count. That's ball 3. Three balls, no strikes to the second batter of the bottom of the second. 3-1 the count. Snowden from Florida Southern. The Mocs this past season went 12-33 and 6-23 in conference, playing in the highly competitive Sunshine State Conference at the Division II level. It's the 3-1. Drilled high out to center. That pushes Towery back, and it leaves the yard. Home run to straightaway center by Massengale. That ties the game at 1. On a 3-1 pitch, an equalizing swing. So the Impact's trying to settle down things in the circle after that. I mentioned in the Sunshine State Conference, that boasted the Division II national champion in St. Leo, who went 29-1 in league play. Also, top 10 team Tampa, one of the best athletic programs in the D2 level. Adriana O'Connell takes strike 1 on the outer edge. Oh, 1 to the plate. Foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes to the shortstop, O'Connell. The pitch is low, ball 1. This ball fouled back. A tie game following the Brooke Massengale home run. Snowden, her 1-2 pitch. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and strike 3. Snowden with her first punch out. That brings Ava Segura, the third baseman, to the plate. For Massengale, that was her first home run of the season. And the second home run for the Squeeze, the other off the bat of Maddie Green. Still very much early in the summer. 6th game for either team. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is outside. Ball 4 taken by Segura. First free pass taken by the Squeeze. So here is Lauren Faulkner, the first baseman. She fouls it off the handle of her bat. Faulkner, another one of those Longwood Lancers from Holly Springs, North Carolina, pretty suburb of Raleigh. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Faulkner hit .227 across her 52 starts this past season. She fouls a pitch back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the former high school tennis player. Snowden's pitch. Swinging a hot shot ground ball past the second baseman into right field. Going over to second base ambitiously and getting tagged out is Faulkner. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. I don't think they know that. It was a fly out to Evans, a strikeout for O'Connell. Or rather, O'Connell did not strike out. Yeah. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. As this ball rolled to the shortstop Chisholm, and she makes a blunder, and that scores a run. 2-0, the Squeeze take the lead in the bottom of the second. Second error of the frame. As this ball lasered right to the third baseman's glove, Hickey lines out to end the inning, but the Squeeze take a 2-1 lead thanks to a home run by Brooke Massingale and another run coming in on one of the 2 errors committed. It's 2-1 as we go to the third. Top of the third inning, Impact back to the plate, trailing for the first time after the Squeeze scored 2 in the bottom of the second. It's 1-2-3 up for the Impact. Lenhair, Bunsich, and Chisholm. First pitch handed out, ball 1 to Lenhair, the right fielder, flied out to center to start the ball game. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. The count runs full. Payoff pitch. Lenhair flies it down the left field line and it drops foul. She has not walked at all this summer, has struck out 3 times. She drills it down the right field line, base hit rolling in the corner. Lenhair turning 2, she slides in safely with a leadoff double. 4th hit today for the Impact. 2nd straight leadoff hit. Brings up Brianni Bunsich, the second baseman. Two SoCon players going at it here with Buncich from Western Carolina. Hickey out of Samford. 1-0 pitch. 2-0 the count. Two 0 on its way. Swinging a ball batted foul. The Squeeze, coached by Taylor Pinnell, who just wrapped up her college career this past season at Texas A&M. At a 5.65 ERA in 19 appearances, the Aggies lost in their own regional. Before that, she was at Missouri. 2-1. Partial swing. It tails outside, ball 3. Pinnell was previously the closer for Mizzou, had 24 saves across her 3 seasons in Columbia. 3-1 pitch. Off the end of the bat, foul. Second time through the order for Reese Hickey, the Squeeze starter. Later in this game, we're expected to see Sarah Phillips, the Mississippi State right-hander. Payoff pitch. Swing and a high fly ball to shallow left. The left fielder, St. Jean, makes the catch to retire Buncich for the first out of the inning. Now it's Harley Chisholm back to the plate. It's ball 1. Chisholm from the small town of Weatherford, Oklahoma, a town of 12,000, about an hour west of OKC. Grounds it to the shortstop, who juggles it, and she has to eat it. An error committed, second by the shortstop, has 2 on with 1 out. That ball fouled on the right field line. Most famous person from Weatherford, Thomas P. Stafford, who orbited the moon on Apollo 10. The former manager of the Texas Rangers, Jeff Bannister. 2 balls, 1 strike to the cleanup hitter for the Impact, Autumn Russell. She went down swinging in the first. This frame started with a leadoff double for Lenhare, followed by a Buncich flyout and a Chisholm ground ball that was misplayed for an error. Hickey at risk of loading the bases here. It's a slow tapper to second, eaten up by Young, and she gets it to Faulkner. Runners advance, but it's 2 outs. Russell now 0 for 2. Chisholm to second. Lenhair to third. Calissa Coates, the third baseman. Coates watches ball one. She rolls the ball foul. One. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a laser straight to the second baseman's glove to retire the side. Impact scoreless in the third inning despite a leadoff double and an error that gets 2 in scoring position. It's 2-1 Squeeze. Squeeze back to the plate when we return. Bottom of the third inning, Natalie Snowden back in the circle for the Impact, facing the Squeeze 10-1-2, starting with Eliza Johnson, the last Squeeze player to get a plate appearance today. On deck, Nina Passari, who grounded out 2-3, and the whole Lisi St. Jean, who grounded to the shortstop. Snowden, a fantastic first inning, retired the order quickly, 1-2-3. In the second inning, first pitch fly out followed by a Brooke Massingale home run over the center field fence. And she walked a batter, and 2 errors allowed another run to score. 0-1. This ball golfed to left, and it's caught on the run by the left fielder Santangelo. So Snowden has retired the first 3 leadoff batters she's faced. That brings Passari back to the plate. Passari out of UIC, Illinois, Chicago. Watches a first pitch strike. Great season for Passari this past spring. All Missouri Valley Conference defensive selection. Offensively, hit .355 over 42 games, all as a starter. Did not record an extra base hit, so just a contact machine and a good fielder. 1-1 up the gut, base hit. Passari. There's that excellent plate approach. She swings and singles. Only the second hit of the game for the Squeeze. Passari moves to 1-2 as Lisi St. Jean, the starting left fielder, takes to the plate. strike on the outer part. 0-1 comes home. This ball ripped to the third baseman, Coates. They get the force out at second. Throw not in time at first, but it's a fielder's choice for the second out. Erases the lead runner. St. Jean 0 for 2 now. That brings up Skylar Young, her second time to the dish. Hit a grounder to second. Out 4-3 in the first. Young chases. It's strike one. North Carolina Tar Heel from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Just 5 for 14 over her first 2 seasons with UNC. Ball ricochets away. It's ball 2. Exciting time right now in Chapel Hill with the Carolina baseball team making it to the Men's College World Series Championship. That starts tomorrow. They're facing Oklahoma. Two 1. It's ball 3. Swinging a laced ball off one hop into the glove of the second baseman. Buncich makes a good play and retires the side. Jayla Mitchell, the leadoff batter for the Impact in the top of the 4th inning, facing the Squeeze starter Reese Hickey. Mitchell singled off of her only other time up. First pitch bounces in the dirt before home plate. Mitchell in the portal after her freshman year at Memphis. Her now former teammate, Jericho Tate, the Memphis righty, was brilliant yesterday for the Siesta Key in the win over Anna Maria. 1-0 pitch. It's outside, ball 2. Tate had 5 no-run innings. It was a complete game with a run rule. Only allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, struck out 3. Lots of talent in the American Conference. 2-0. Mitchell acknowledges ball 3. But the Wesley Chapel native, not too far from Tampa, looking for a new home. She takes strike 1. Get me over pitch there from Hickey. The freshman righty from Samford. That ball rolled foul. Payoff pitch. Mitchell pops it above the infield. The shortstop O'Connell calls everybody off. Makes the two-hand squeeze. No pun intended. Mitchell now 1 for 2. That brings up Brianna Santangelo, who had the bunt single in the second. Hickey goes off speed. Gives out a first pitch strike. Santangelo had the bunt single in the previous inning, advanced on a sac fly to second, but then flew too close to the sun on the base paths, was thrown out 9-5 after trying to advance on a flare shot single. 2-strike pitch. She pops this above the shortstop. She wants it again. O'Connell, back-to-back catches for 2 outs in the top of the 4th. It brings up Megan Towery, the center fielder. She hit that sac fly. That scored the only run so far for the Impact. It's a 1-run game after the Squeeze scored 2 in the bottom of the second. Oh, good one there from Hickey. Plops it on the top half. Towery, I mentioned last year at Belmont Abbey, previously at Wofford, as she rolls it softly through the third baseman, and the shortstop makes a dangerous throw, but the runner's in safe with 2 outs. Laid out for that one. It was Ella Carter, the first baseman for Miami, Ohio. This ball right to the third baseman, Segura's glove. The Impact get a 2-out base runner. They leave her on. We are halfway through this one. Squeeze up to bat, up by 1. Bottom of the fourth inning between the Impact and the Squeeze on this Friday morning in mid-June. 4-5-6 due up for the Squeeze. It is Hannah Evans, Brooke Massengale, and Adriana O'Connell. Against Natalie Snowden, the starting pitcher for the Impact has allowed just one earned run so far. Her first pitch flashes inside, ball one. It's the second pitch Evans has seen. She flied it out on the first one on her first plate appearance. Patient this time around. 2 balls, no strikes. On deck for the Squeeze is Brooke Massengale, who had the game-tying home run in the second. 2-0. And a full hitter's count for Evans, the cleanup bat for the Squeeze. Four-pitch walk, and the leadoff runner's aboard. Evans very patient that time. Brooke Massengale, who hit the second home run of the summer for the Squeeze in the second. She is up. First pitch is called strike one for the catcher from Longwood, a Raleigh native. Oh, 1. Tails outside. One to the plate. It's outside, ball 2. Pitch comes home. It's inside, ball 3. Squeeze have changed their approach here in this fourth inning. Not swinging as Snowden goes further into this game. Back-to-back walks to lead off the fourth. 2 free passes bring up Adriana O'Connell, who walked and scored in the second, her lone time up. O'Connell drives it to left, rather right center, falls for a base hit. 1 run is in. O'Connell has extra bases, a second run to the plate, and she's tagged out as O'Connell makes it to third. But it's 3-1. After that double by O'Connell, she gets to third base on the relay. It's also the first out of the frame. Evans scored. Ava Segura swings and misses. It's strike 1. High chopper left side of the infield. Difficult play. The shortstop can't make it. Another run comes in. It's 4-1. It's a hit for Segura. Very difficult play for Chisholm to make, and RBI for Segura as well. is outside. Picked back to first. Not there. Pitch runs away. The runner advances. Torrey Payne, the two-way player from UCF, lays off. Payne lifts off to right. On her horse, Lenhair can't make the catch. It drops foul. Payoff pitch to Payne. She takes ball 4. Third walk handed out in this 4th inning by the pitcher, Snowden. Different runner comes in. It's Nina Passari. Courtesy runner, but she's in the hole technically. As that's down the left field line, fair for a base hit. Segura scores. Coming around is Payne. Other first pitch is a strike to Eliza Johnson, following the 2 RBI hit by Hickey. This ball fisted to the shortstop. She makes the catch to retire the side. New pitcher is Sarah Phillips in the top of the fifth. Her first pitch to Robertson. Grounded to third. Overhead throw. 5-3. Phillips out of Mississippi State. Relieved Reese Hickey, who went 4 innings with 5 hits, 1 run that was earned. Did not walk about her, struck out 2 as that ball pulled foul. At the plate is Sammy Lenhair, the right fielder. Doubled her last time to the plate, flied out to center in the first. So a 1-for-2 game for her. That double came in the third, where the Impact got 2 runners in scoring position, but failed to bring either home. In the previous half inning for the Squeeze, the first 2 batters were walked, and the double by O'Connell brought in Evans, the leadoff man, and Massengale out at the plate for the first out. So runner at second, rather O'Connell advanced on the throw. Runner at third, Segura RBI single, that scored a run. She advances to second on a wild pitch. A walk has runners at first and second. Then it's a base hit for Reagan Hickey that scores both Segura and Payne. She's at second, and they pop out to the shortstop. She steps on the second base bag with the runner off of it to retire the side. There's the second out in the top of the fifth. Phillips freezes the hitter. It's Brianna Boncich who takes a strike 1. That one's high. This ball rolled through the 3-4-hole base hit for the Impact. Boncich finds an opening in the infield. It's a 2-out knock. She's now 1 for 3. As that brings up Harley Chisholm, who is 1 for 2. She singled to right in the first and reached on an error in the third. Chisholm, the Florida State freshman, takes outside. Ball 2 called. This ball down the right field line, catch made by the right fielder. Chisholm flies out the other direction, and that ends the inning. No runs for the Impact in the 5th inning, despite a 2-out knock. She's left aboard with her 4.5. Squeeze 6. Impact 1. Bottom of the fifth between the impact and the squeeze. Nina Passari, the leadoff bat, takes a pitch outside. Rather, it's a pinch hitter for the squeeze. Elise Crescio comes in. She fouls a pitch back. In the portal with 2 years left after some time at Oregon with the Ducks in the Big Ten. She's pinch hitting for Nina Passari, who went 1 for 2 out of the leadoff spot. 2-1 to the former Duck. Got her on the furthest part of the plate. Still Natalie Snowden, the starter for the Impact. Loops a pitch outside. Ball 4. For the second consecutive frame, the leadoff batter is walked. Crescio with a pinch hit walk, the bottom of the fifth. Fifth walk for the Impact Snowden. That one down the left field line foul. Rolling ball to the second baseman. She slings it. Bunsich goes to Carter, but the runner advances. Another run in scoring position for the squeeze. First pitch, ball 1 to Skylar Young. As that ball escapes the catcher, passed ball moves Crescio 60 feet. Skylar Young today, 2 4-3 groundouts that have happened in the first and third innings. And it's a get me over strike. Snowden locates strike 2. Another walk has runners on the corners for the squeeze in the bottom of the fifth with only 1 out. It's now Hannah Evans, who walked on 4 pitches her last time up. That came in the fourth after flying to center in the second. Pitch runs outside, escapes the custody of the catcher, and the runner from third comes in. As the runner from first goes to second, it's now 7-1. Second pass ball of the inning. Quarter swing called a strike. It's Hannah Evans, the right fielder. And another ball that gets away from the catcher. That's Russell. It looks like a different catcher, not Russell. So that one's ball two. Strike two. Swinging a ground ball out of the glove of the first baseman. She applies the tag as the run comes in. 8-1. If another run comes in, the game is over. Brooke Massengale can do just that. We saw her with a home run earlier, but instead it's Hickey. Hickey swings and fouls it back. Reese Hickey takes ball four. New pitcher is the Florida State freshman, Marley Gaskell. 5.10 ERA, 2-1 record this year as a rookie with the Seminoles. 23 and a third innings pitched, allowed 17 earned runs, walked 13 and struck out 18, but if you get to pitch for the Seminoles, that speaks for itself. She relieves the previous arm, Natalie Snowden, who went 4 2/3. Leaves a runner at first. That's Hickey, rather a courtesy runner, as that pitch is outside, ball 1 to Adriana O'Connell. To St. Jean, the courtesy runner. Rather Passari. 1-0. Fouled off. The runner will have to go back. That ball fouled. If the runner at first comes in, the game is over. O'Connell fights it off. Two balls, two strikes to O'Connell. Walked and scored in the second. Doubled and scored with a run batted home in the fourth. Squeeze lead it 8-1. She's down swinging. We go to the sixth. A 7-run game. Top of the sixth. Squeeze ahead by 7. Maddie Parker came in as a defensive sub last inning. Takes first pitch, ball 1, out of the arm of Sarah Phillips. Clean swap in the 4-hole between the catchers. Autumn Russell finishes 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Maddie Parker, redshirt freshman from UCF out of Tampa's Wharton High School. She sends it to left, falls for a base knock. She rounds first briefly, but stays with a leadoff single. Sixth hit of the ball game for the Impact, whose only run came in the second inning, thanks to a sacrifice fly off the bat of Megan Towery. Coates swings and pounds it to center field for a base hit. Back-to-back hits to start the sixth for the Impact. Coates now 1 for 3 after that hard hit ball escaped the infield. Sarah Phillips entering her third season of college with Mississippi State. The plate is Jayla Mitchell, the extra hitter. Singled and scored that lone run in the second. Popped out to the shortstop in the fourth. So 1 for 2 with a run. One and one on its way. This ball high to left, making the catch in left field for the first out. That brings up the Columbia left fielder Brianna Santangelo. Bunt single in the second, popped at to short in the fourth. 2 runners on for the Impact. At second base is Parker, or a pinch runner for her. Courtesy runner instead, rather. At first base, it's Coates. This ball rolls past the second baseman, and the bases are loaded. A 2-hit game for Santangelo. Tough play. Have been very difficult for Young, the second baseman, trying to make that dive. Megan Towery takes a called strike. And she swings after that pitch. No balls, 2 strikes to the 8-hole hitter Towery. She rolls it into the glove of the third baseman. They get the out at first. It scores a run, and the Impact make it 8-2. RBI ground out, so Towery has brought home both runs for the Impact. She's now 0 for 2. Santangelo to second, and Coates to third. First pitch sails outside, ball 1 to Ella Carter. Singled in the second, lined out in the fourth. as this ball blasted above the infield on the right side. Making the catch is the first baseman to retire the side. But the Impact score a run in the 6th thanks to 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. We're through 5 1/2. Squeeze lead it 8-2. Bottom of the 6th, Impact in front, rather, Squeeze in front, 8-2. 6-run game. If the Squeeze can score 2 here, the game will end in a run rule. Otherwise, the Impact will have 10-1-2 up in the top of the 7th. First pitch is ball 1 to Ava Segura, who reached on an error in the 2nd and singled with an RBI and a run in the 4th. Ball 1 delivered by Marley Gaskell, and it's ball 2. The final line for the starter for the Impact, Natalie Snowden, went 4 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 8 runs, 5 of which were earned, walked 7, did not strike out a batter. She's in line for the loss. 2-0 to the plate. Gaskell goes off speed. It's 3-0 the count to the 7-spot hitter for the Squeeze. Squeeze looking to make it 4-2 on the season. Impact at risk of dropping to 2-4. As there's a swinging strike 1. Gaskell receives the sign from her catcher. Misses outside. 8th walk for the Squeeze. Now it's Tori Payne, her second plate appearance. Walked and scored in the 4th. Potential for her first at bat. She whiffs on the first pitch. Strike three. Payne goes down chasing. First out of the bottom of the sixth. Here's Reagan Hickey, the DP. She flies it to right. Crashing in is Lenhair. It drops. Base hit. Runner caught on the base paths. And out is the lead runner, Segura. Still a runner at first. Segura didn't know if that ball would be caught or not. That brings up Eliza Johnson. Gaskell readies and deals. Good pitch, first pitch strike to Johnson, who is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a pop out. On the other end for the Impact, they'll send Robertson, Lenhair, and Bunsich to the plate as that ball is fouled. Impact trailed by 6 runs. That ball's in the dirt. Pitch on its way from the FSU reliever. It's off of her glove, up the middle, base hit. Hickey to second, Johnson at first. She's now 1 for 3, as that brings up the top of the order. It's Elise Crescio, who walked and scored in the 5th. Winning run, or game-ending run, at first. This ball, flied to center. Underneath it, making the catch is Towery to retire the side. Squeeze, leave 2 on in the bottom of the 6th. After 2 hits, so walk, no errors. We're through 6. Impact down to their last 3 outs. They trail it 8-2. Top of the 7th. The Impact trail the Squeeze. Sarah Phillips looking to shut the door. First pitch is ball 1. Emma Robertson at the plate. Struck out swinging in the second, grounded to third in the 5th. As the bunt rolls foul. This ball bounced off of Phillips, caroms past the second baseman. And a leadoff runner for the Impact. Robertson now 1 for 3. That brings up Sammy Lenhair. The Impact scored the first run of the game in the top of the second off a sac fly, but after that, the Squeeze tied it with a home run as the runner thinks about going. Home run off the bat of Brooke Massingale. They had a run off an error in the second, so it's 2-1 Squeeze. Then in the bottom of the 4th, they score 4 thanks to 3 hits and 3 walks as that ball loops foul. 2 more runs, both unearned in the 5th, to produce an 8-1 lead. In the 6th inning, the Impact score another run off of 3 hits, so it's 8-2. And after the Squeeze, scoreless in the bottom of the 6th, that takes us to where we are now, 8-2 in the top of the 7th. Impact at risk of dropping to 2-4. Sarah Phillips, the state righty, makes soft contact, juggles the ball, gets it to first in time. The runner advances after a 1-3 or 1-1-1-3 ground out. That retires Lenhair. And brings up Brandy Bunsich. Dies in front of the plate. The catcher rifles it to first. Sack bunt advances the runner, but now the Impact down to its final out. Here's Harley Chisholm, the shortstop. She watches ball 1. Chisholm singled in the first, reached on an error in the 3rd, and flied out to right field in the 5th. A 1 for 3 showing so far for the young Florida State infielder. And it's a ground ball to the shortstop, misplayed by O'Connell. It scores a run, and back on board off another E6 is Chisholm. Should have ended the game there. Makes it 8-3. Unearned run, as will the rest of these runs in this inning. At the plate, it's Maddie Parker, pinch hit in the 6th, singled and scored. Ground ball to Phillips. She collects, takes her time, and feeds it to first to retire the side and end the game. In the seventh, the Impact score a run to cut away at the deficit, but it's not enough, as that is the ball game. 8-3 our final score. The Squeeze win it, thanks in part to a 4-run fourth inning and a home run by Brooke Massingale in the second. Squeeze moved to 4-2. Impact dropped to 2-4. The winning pitcher is Reese Hickey, the Squeeze starter. On the other end, it's the losing pitcher and the starter Natalie Snowden. That does it from our coverage of Impact Squeeze. 8-3, the Squeeze win it. On behalf of everyone here on this broadcast, I'm Lance Williams saying see you later from Field 1.